welcome to another episode of Whiskey and Whitetails podcast. I am Gus.
I'm Matt.
Today is January 21st.
President's Day.
President's Day. We are coming off of a wild weekend at Seawee.
We guess. We haven't been yet.
We're recording this ahead of time, so we're assuming it was a wild weekend, and depending on how it went,
we may be retired right now.
We may just retired and not doing these anymore. No. Yeah, we're preparing for it now. Anxious, excited to kind of get into it, but we're looking forward to it. We have a special guest that's going to be calling in later. We're going to be tasting some whiskeys.
Rocco from Camp Hero, which I hate even saying that because it feels like he's just Rocco from Camp Hero, but in reality, he's my friend Rocco. Your friend Rocco.
Yeah, he's a friend. I adore. I wish we lived closer to some of those folks up there because I totally see like regular hangs
for sure,
just hanging out.
He's also executive producer of the Whiskey and Whitetail show.
He is an executive producer, so he's welcome on this podcast anytime.
And speaking of the executive producer, that's one of the tiers in Patreon, and we give you credentials to be an executive producer of the Whiskey and Whitetail show. And as you see above us, your name goes up there.
That's right, and you can throw that stuff in your LinkedIn.
We're also 3 days away now when this episode comes out from giving away this bottle of Elmer T. Lee on Patreon. It'll be live through Discord. Hey, hit myself. Be live on Discord.
Yeah,
so if they're in attendance to win.
And if you guys don't participate and make this worth our while, I'm going to steal it and I'm going to drink it.
Yeah, hopefully nobody comes in and we could just we'll bottle chug it right there for everybody.
That would be funny.
We should do it anyway. Like just kidding, and then just chug it.
Psych. Nobody gets it.
This episode's code word. We started doing this last week, and we had a guest on, so we didn't preface it. But the code words, we're going to do monthly prize packs. We don't know what they're going to be, what's going to be in it. But we're going to do monthly prize packs, and the way to get entered is to use the code word that we give you. So if you're leaving a review, if you're listening audio only, in the review, just use this code word. If you're watching on YouTube, just comment below this code word. But this episode's code word is Appleseed.
Appleseed.
So if you use Appleseed in a funny sentence and we like it, you may be a higher chance to win. But in reality, all you got to do is just comment the word Appleseed. You can just Appleseed, and you're entered to win.
And where should they leave that comment? Where are we looking for the comment?
In the comment section
of
the video.
Okay.
Or if you leave a review, leave Appleseed in the review.
Yeah.
On Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I don't know, the Buzzsprout, whatever. Wherever you're listening. We're everywhere.
Apple Podcast and Spotify and Google Podcasts and Stitcher and pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. We hit all the main, there's the main 5, and then all the other smaller platforms
get the feed.
Use APIs to pull from those.
What's API stand for?
I forgot, but I use it all the time and I can't remember
either.
It's something interface, I think.
Automatic, whatever. We also have big news. We're doing Bourbon on the Banks this year.
Yeah, we just had some phone calls this morning.
So we'll be at Bourbon on the Banks doing a live podcast. We're going to look into the direction of, we're not doing whiskeys or tastings. We're going to do from... I'll just cut it out. It's fine.
Nobody's going to know.
Nobody's going to know.
Nobody's going to know.
Nobody's going to know.
That's where I'll pick back up. So, yeah.
How would they know?
So nobody's going to know.
Yeah, nobody's going to know.
Okay, all right.
So back to, So we're going to call Rocco here in a minute. So he did Starlight picks, and we want to talk to him about, I guess, the Starlight and the pick process. He invited us to go, and I think an event happened, or something happened, we couldn't go. But we have 3 picks. And the only thing I really know about them is that they all say Huber's on the front. So Huber's is a winery.
A winery.
Yeah, and I have notes on it that I'll bring up during the actual podcast. But yeah, so we have the Huber Single Barrel Indiana Straight. This is 106.6 proof, and on the back of this we have Good Morning Camp Hero, which is Good Morning Vietnam, and the logo there. And I B-roll this, but the logo there has actual Camp Hero in the background. The second bottle that we have, it's 111.6 proof, and on the back we have Starlight and Stripes from the show Stripes, the movie Stripes. And then finally, Gus. Okay, I'll do it. Same thing, but this one is the honey finish, and these are the ones that a lot of people go crazy over.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one.
Yep. And on the back says, "Hey, honey, hey, deer." It's got a deer feeder with the Starlight bottle in it, and then the Camp Hero logo as well. And then we got these epic tater jobs with the wax, red, white, and blue, and then they even stuck some toothpick flags in there.
Oh.
So it's pretty cool. So I'm very excited to open these. I've been sitting here looking at them. As soon as the pick idea came about, he reached out to us, and we wanted to go. We couldn't. But
Yep.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
It wasn't even a burp. It just came out of my stomach. And then after that, what's the other show we're going to?
Oh, that's the so it's in North Georgia. It's north of Atlanta. It's called the it's sponsored by Ag Pro is the title sponsor, the big sponsor. It's put on by Georgia Outdoor News Network.
Okay.
Or Georgia Outdoor News. It's like a big website or whatever.
What's it called? Gone?
The Outdoor Gone is Georgia Outdoor News.
Yeah.
And it's called
I
the
got
Outdoor Blast.
I pieced that one together.
Yeah.
Outdoor Blast.
Outdoor Blast.
Yeah.
It's a big sportsman show. It's a few weeks before deer opener in most of the South, so southeast at least. So
So
there'll
if
be
you're bored in August, I didn't write those dates
It's
down,
actually
but-
July.
Yeah, it's the last weekend of July. If
yep.
you're bored, July 29th through 31st, we will be there along with a bunch of other. It looks like it's going to be a pretty cool show.
Yeah, she was naming off names. There's big hunter, like hunter safety systems. There's some big names that are going to be there. So
if you're not prepared for the hunting season, that would be a good place to go get started.
yeah, it's actually. I hope we're really busy so that I don't find myself walking around spending money I don't need to.
Or spend every penny we make.
Well,
Show purchase. That's a write-off.
for a hunting season, it's a write-off.
That's a write-off?
I'm going to put that.
I was gonna say I
Yeah.
should put that in. Who writes it off? I don't know.
The write-off people.
The write-off people.
Who writes it off?
I don't know. The write-off people.
Anyways,
All right. Well, let's get Rocco on the horn and
Let's
get
do
this
it.
started.
all right.
And welcome back to the podcast, Rocco.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's what, September.
Yeah. Last time we did this, we
Oh yeah.
pretty sick the next day.
Yeah, I felt horrible. That felt horrible. And I don't think Gus and I made it a couple miles down the road. We had to purge.
Yeah, we lost whatever food or liquid was still in my stomach.
And in case y'all haven't figured it out yet, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could tell.
Well, and you know
That
what?
was worse.
I actually blame Matt Livingston for that because I don't think you would have driven that crazy if Matt hadn't started asking questions about whether you were okay to drive.
Yep.
And as soon as he did that, I was like, now Matt is going to drive
Like I'm not.
like he's not okay to. And I just I don't have a whole lot of people in my life that I trust 100% with my life in a vehicle, except for Matt. I've been with him in too many vehicles and too many situations. I know how well he drives. He used to race. I
was a race car driver.
I'm comfortable with him behind a vehicle. So none of that bothered me, except for the fact that it obviously made me puke.
And for those that don't know what we're talking about, we did a full bottle kill of George C. Stagg with Rocco. And then I guess I lost
43
track.
minutes.
He had 43 minutes. Then I lost track. I thought we were still drinking. We were trying something new, but we tried something new 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And
We were like,
all of this is available, by the way, on Patreon.
yeah, you held up the new drink like 3 times. Like, let's finish this stag. And we had finished it like 20 minutes ago. It was a good time.
So the next morning, they weren't feeling too well, and my driving was questioned. So then I started to show off a little bit, and I made everybody sick.
I was surprised how well that F-250 handled those those turns.
It'll run. She'll run. All right, we're going to pop this first one. This is just the regular single barrel. Yeah. I went ahead and pre-cut these so they wouldn't be impossible to get off. Look at the wax ring. That is cool looking. So tell us about the pick.
We got to go to Starlight, and because it was for the nonprofit for Camp Hero, they went ahead and let us choose. I think we went like 14 different barrels we tried.
Oh, wow.
And having 14 different samples, of course, we needed to eat lunch. That was just in the morning. So we needed to eat lunch before we decided to drive back. But it was really great. I mean, there was such a variety, and they have such a wide range of flavors and all their different, barrels. And, there's some that I already know I want to go back and get the next time around. So, but these were the top 3 out of all 14 that we tried.
Nice. And a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually a winery. It's beautiful out there, isn't it?
Yeah,
I haven't been.
It's a winery. They make brandy. Then they make this also, and then they also have their own honey, which is where that honey finished barrel is from their own honey. Like they have the like, of course, the sauternes isn't from them, but they have all their like apple brandy finish and all that. That's from their own brandy too.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
But what's cool is like the honey barrel one is they'll finish the bourbon in the honey, and then they'll also finish the honey in the bourbon.
Oh, wow. That's a smart way to do it.
They make multiple uses out of that same barrel.
Yeah, just go back and forth until it leaks. I would love to have some bourbon finished honey.
Yeah.
Did you buy any of that?
No, I haven't. I want to get some though.
Dude.
That'd be good to put in a hot toddy.
Yeah, add me to that list. If you buy a jug, I'll pay you back.
Okay.
Yeah, this smells really good. It smells like Starlight. It smells like a single barrel, but it has a lot of good flavors to it. Yeah. Do you know the mash bill on these?
I'm not sure.
This is really sweet.
It is very sweet. I get a lot of
It's like a heavy wheat flavor to it.
it has a wheat flavor to it, but I get a lot of like citrus, a lot of fresh.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about that single barrel. We tried, I think, 3 different single barrels. That one had a really good sweet finish to it.
It's like pear almost. Like the juice that pears come in.
Oh yeah, the syrup.
Yeah. I like that a lot. So we have new listeners we've told your story before because we absolutely love you. And we got big things coming down the road. But for those that don't know about Camp Hero, tell them what they should know while I pop this next one.
Okay. Camp Hero is we're a nonprofit, all volunteer nonprofit. And what we do is we host veterans and first responders for outdoor getaways and events, pretty much for outdoor therapy, being able to decompress, heal with other, veterans, first responders like them. We also do things with kids. We do youth mentoring for at-risk youth to help, teach them things about the outdoors and also, be positive influences in their life. The way Camp Hero came about was I'm a disabled vet, and then I was also a police officer. And June 3rd of 2016, I was dragged and ran over in a traffic stop, causing multiple spinal injuries. The person who ran me over, she got 40 years in prison, but I ended up with, lifelong injuries, was forced to medically retire. Being forced to end my career caused me to deal with anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, and I couldn't find any help as far as for wounded officers and first responders anywhere. There was an organization I did find called Kentucky Wounded Heroes, and they hosted veterans and first responders for outdoor getaways. I went to my first event with them as a participant, and I enjoyed it so much and got so much out of it that after that I became a volunteer staff member and started bringing wounded officers from around the country here to Kentucky to be able to enjoy it. In 2019, I was able to buy 160 acres here in Jackson County, Kentucky, and I started Camp Hero, which it allows me to be able to host the veterans and first responders here on site. I actually have a location, whereas the Kentucky Wounded Heroes don't have a location. In addition to the 160 acres I own, I also lease about another 1,400 acres. So it allows for, and it's all surrounded by national forests. So it's isolated, remote. People get to come out here and just pretty much heal in nature. And there's actually scientific studies that show that being out in nature, the longer you're out in nature, it changes your chemical balance in your brain to where it helps you deal with the issues with post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and depression. Because as humans, we actually originated out in nature. And the more we've gotten away from it, the more stress, anxiety, and everything else we've dealt with. By getting back with nature, it helps reverse that and pretty much helps you heal that way.
Absolutely. And I'm a firsthand witness of it. Coming out there with the WLS hunt 2 years ago and just being out there. I mean, there is healing in nature. There's something about being messed up in the head and sitting in a tree stand and just it can really change everything, but also that the water on your property, just sitting in that stream and looking around, there's true healing in nature. And I love what you're doing there. It's Gus, how much Gus and I talk about it. And
oh yeah,
so beautiful out there. We like you as a person. Before we called, we were talking like, I hate saying Rocco from Camp Hero because that's not who you are to me. You're just my friend Rocco.
Yeah.
How do you say your last name again? Because we screw it up all the time.
Best in yak.
That was close.
Best
Yeah. The
Yeah.
D is silent, the J's like a Y.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you think about how you say it and not look at it, makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I was saying it correct. It sounded wrong. Your name sounds wrong.
Yeah, well, it looks wrong anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that?
It's Slovenian.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandparents were Slovenian on my dad's side, and my dad was actually born in a World War II refugee camp in Italy because the Germans completely destroyed the town that my grandparents were in, and they lived in a refugee camp for 9 years, and that's where my dad was born before they're allowed to come to the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
That's heavy.
Yeah. That's rough.
Jeez. Wow. Well, glad they made their way here
Yeah,
so you
for
could be
sure.
here, man.
oh, yeah.
That's wild.
And that's, going off on another subject or whatever. And when people talk about immigrants, I mean, I know because my dad's an immigrant.
Yeah.
And, like I said, my grandparents waited 9 years to be able to come over, in a refugee camp. And then, other people think that people should just be able to cross the line and do whatever they want and come over.
Yeah.
And I think it devalues what being an American citizen is. And, if you can just merely just show up and get those rights.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of folks, younger generation, that have a lot of negative things to say about this country and what it has to offer. And I always like to, point out that if it's so bad here, why are there people
Trying to get
spending
here?
years and years of their life still trying to come to America? There's a reason for that.
I've always had the opinion of you go do stuff in overseas and you come back and it's like you see the stuff and you're like, geez. But I've always been of the opinion that being American is not a nationality. It's an idea. It's a belief system. The people that came here and started this country, they came here because they had an intentional, this is what we want to create.
Yeah.
So by saying that you're an American, that doesn't mean that's what color your skin is or what color your eyes are or anything else. Being an American is idea. You believe in these principles and you want to subscribe to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason it has such a draw for people to want to come here. And
And it's the opportunity, and it's the people come here for the opportunity, not for the rights.
Exactly.
The opportunity of being able to succeed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Whereas in their home country, they don't have that opportunity.
Yep.
It was funny. There was an immigrant I talked to. He was from Africa. He said he just wanted to come to the U.S. because the poor people are fat. That's why what he said. It's the only place you'll see fat poor people.
Yeah.
It's true though.
And because when you think about it, there in Africa, the poorest of the poorest
They're starving
not
to death.
eating.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They said it's there was I think he's Indian comedian that just released a new special, and at the end of his special he says he's like, since I have your attention and everybody's here, I just got one thing to say. He's like, quit saying that you deserve anything. He's like, our parents immigrated to this country and they built the life that they gave us, and I want you to think about that and think that if you don't have something, it's because you haven't gotten up and built it for yourself.
That's right.
And I like that mentality. And I think most immigrants have that mentality.
It's a mentality that folks like ourselves that are a couple of generations removed from that reality of not having a choice but to build a life. In some ways we're spoiled because we've had that life sort of built for us and passed on to us. I think that mindset, unfortunately, is lost by a lot of people.
And it wasn't that long ago that people were just trekking across, which is funny. Our random fact has to do with this, but it's funny that the people came here and just trekked across to build. Anyway, off that. Oh, and we love doing this to make it really awkward. So it's like our favorite thing to do right now. So we're gonna do it to you. But basically, we're gonna play a jingle, and then you'll just, it's the plug of the week, and then you're gonna plug your social media and stuff. We're not getting off the phone or anything. It's just we like to do it now, so it's weird. So guys.
Okay.
It's time for the part of the week.
All right, Camp Hero, where we host wounded veterans and wounded first responders for outdoor getaways, and we also build our future heroes by mentoring at-risk youth. Our website is campheroky.org. We're also on Instagram and Facebook under Camp Hero Kentucky. Feel free to get a hold of us. Thank you.
It's not super awkward, right? You're used to it.
No.
It's usually awkward for other people. It's like because they're like, okay. I'm like, yeah, all right, back to the conversation. So I've been sipping this without even thinking, but these the sauterne barrels really, it adds like you can taste that sweetness in it.
Yeah, that one's is really complex.
Whoa.
There's a lot to this.
Man, you have that foundation of just those normal bourbon notes, but then there's a floral sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
And it's like the floral comes in and out. It's not like a solid finish or like, a real overwhelming. You get it as, the more you breathe, you get it, hints of it.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't come to words, but my hand was like,
that's why I said roller coaster.
It's coming in and out. I didn't know how to.
As one pattern falls away, another one picks up behind it. Yeah.
That's really good.
This is really good.
It's really complex.
What is the Offline Offensive sports grill? Is that who you partnered with?
Yeah, they're part of the Speakeasy Bourbon Club, and the offensive line helped do the pick with me, and they received the product and everything from me from Starlight, and have the contract and stuff with them, so that way we didn't have to buy the barrels up front. They build them, and then as we sold, then we could pay it.
Nice.
Is that snow in the background, or is that just off-white?
No, it's just
glare.
It shouldn't be snow. No, it's not. Yeah, that's just the one. I was say it shouldn't be. It's like 50-something degrees today.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
How much snow did y'all get in there?
This last time we got like 2 or 3 inches. The time before that we got about 8 inches. So it's been a really snowy winter so far. And usually our big snows don't come until February, March.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense because it's really cold here in February.
Yeah, I used to think like what we think of winter or fall. I used to think that's when everyone got snow.
Yeah, I did too.
But that only happens in certain parts of the country. Like you go up like north. That happens. And most places get, like you were saying, February, March is.
Some people talk about a white Christmas. Like, what do you mean? I hope we have a white. Like you should. It's December and you live up north.
I know, but it's with Kentucky, like being in the middle, we can have, it can be 75 degrees one Christmas, next Christmas it can be 20 and 10 inches of snow.
Yeah,
it all depends on if we end up getting a big Arctic push.
Yeah,
and we've been getting those. Like today, it's supposed to be like 63. Tomorrow night's going to be 12.
Wow.
Yeah, I think my wife might actually kill a person to have a white Christmas.
Yeah, she wasn't bad.
She loves snow and she likes having this 4-season, type deal. The kids have been asking and wanting to, snow and that kind of thing. So
it's time to move to Kentucky.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe someday. Yeah,
good chance.
We'll see. And that predates anything whiskey and whitetails. It's just, but anyway. So what? Yeah. So you have a bunch of new exciting stuff. Oh, before we do that, the dinner. So last year's dinner, how many people were there? Do you think?
There were 320 people, I think.
320 people, and you guys gave away or auctioned off a bunch of awesome stuff, and you acquired all the bourbon.
Correct.
Have you started the bourbon for this year?
I have. I've already got a Old Rip. I've got a Lot B, Stag Junior. I got another 117. I got the Old Forest Presidential. I think I've got a regular Blanton's, a red, and a gold.
Man, you're well on your way.
And we still have 6 months until then.
I know.
6-7 months. So
yeah,
I'll have plenty. Oh, I have some awesome micro sets. I got
that's cool.
3 full verticals of all the Wellers in 2-ounce bottles. and it comes in a nice display case. I've got the first 3 of the Rip Van Winkle. I got the 10, the 12, and the 15, all in small bottles with, I mean, these are like absolutely perfect duplicates of these bottles, and they're coming in a wooden display case and everything. So these are really cool things. I just like them for the coolness value.
Yeah.
Also have that E.H. Taylor single barrel, the mini ones that come in wooden display cases, even has the small tube and everything for it to come in. It's really cool.
Oh wow.
Oh, neat.
That'll be
that
cool to see a little tube. Yeah, I don't know if we met a guy in a parking lot to buy some mini bottles, but look at this one.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's old. It just says Old Taylor on it instead of anything else. But the tax stamp's like ripped, so I don't know what year it is, but it's pretty cool.
So are you excuse me, are you foreseeing or planning on it being about the same size, or are you looking to go bigger this year?
I think we'll probably end up selling out with 400.
Yeah.
Probably pretty quick, because I know a lot of people who went last year wanted to come again this year.
Sure.
And then, we'll have additional people too. Whereas last year, I think we only had, 4.5 months to get ready for the event.
Yeah.
This year, we've had almost a year. So already got the word out, and, people are saying they're going to get tickets to come back. They're still offering the room discounts and everything else at the venue at the Campbell House.
Great.
So, this year will be September 10th there at the Campbell House. And I'm actually thinking of putting together some VIP packages that would include the day before and the day of, since the thing's on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So like the day before, I was thinking of having a get together with a private concert, music thing and drinking and stuff like that. The next day, during the day, do bourbon tours.
Oh yeah.
Where they can ride around, go to different places and tour bourbon. And then that night, have the event. So right now I'm putting that together and have a limited amount of those VIP packages where people can do those.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll do well. I think those will sell quick.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, especially from outer towners who don't get an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. And we might just show up and follow along.
Yeah, it can be. That's one thing we figured out kind of quickly, having never, because when we came up to last year for the dinner, that was my first time in one of the big, like actually staying more than a couple hours in one of the major Kentucky cities, if you will. All the different bourbon or the distilleries and the different shops, everywhere you turn around, it's bourbon something, and it can be really overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where to start or where to go. So having a package put together where somebody can just hop on a bus and have it laid out for them would probably be very beneficial. I think that would
just sit there and ride and drink all day.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's my kind of afternoon. So
yeah, depending on how much those tickets are, I might save some pennies for those.
Yeah. I'll figure out what those are, but the regular tickets are $100, and then tables 10 or 900, tables 10 or 900.
And we'll be there for a table
for sure.
Again.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun last year. It was got to meet a bunch of cool people, and I enjoyed it. It was fun watching our guys helping us out, making cocktails. Fun watching them getting kicked out from behind the bar.
Yeah, it's also nice. I enjoy these kind of things, because it's an opportunity to bring the wives and let them be a part of everything. Sometimes we do shows and things like that, and even if they're there, we're busy. So I always feel like I'm ignoring or blowing them off. So it's nice to have a weekend where we can come hang out and maybe drive around the countryside and do some prospecting, if you know what I'm saying.
This is wildly complex. It changes with every sip. Now I'm getting like, not quite medicinal, but like a rubber taste to the back end, which I really like. That's one thing I like about Scotch is the medicinal taste. I just don't like the peat.
You like the medicinal thing?
I do. I've always liked it, like
really?
The iodine rubbery. So this is almost like a burnt tire rubber to me that I get, and I mean that in a good way.
Okay, then I have a Scotch you need to try, because it's not so much peat as it is like straight Band-Aids, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Also, around September 10th, that's around our velvet season too.
Yeah, that's right.
That could make for a good week trip.
Yeah,
That's right. I got in trouble for not taking enough PTO last year. So
I almost ran out of PTO. So you get to. I don't have the same setup as you.
No, I know.
This is a final one here. This is the honey, which I'm going to say
I'm looking forward.
probably
to this.
most excited because I've never had the honey, and I've been talked to about it a lot.
There we
Yeah,
go.
all right. Triple pop episode.
That's good. That's fine. Thanks.
What was the? Which one were you most excited about trying again?
The honey.
Yeah, the honey.
The finish is just like, it just makes you sit back and be like, wow.
I love the bourbon feeding the feeder, and the deer's got like his whole face in it.
Oh yeah.
It has a sweet smell to it, but I
There's
don't think
not much on the nose.
Not much on the honey. I'm excited for that, but I've been told that the palate is where it's at. I wonder if these are also a little younger, the honey ones, because they impart so much flavor from the barrel.
Yeah. Well, when I smell a whiskey, it's cool to get like an idea of what you're about to taste. But there's been so many times
It's
where
wildly
I
different.
smell one thing
Yeah.
and the taste is completely different.
It seems to me cheaper whiskey smells like it tastes, but then when you get into a more expensive stuff, they're very complex and they usually don't match.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
In your expert opinion,
No.
as a bourbon
No.
celebrity.
Stop saying that because
bourbon
people are going to
personality.
take it out of context and think that we're actually saying that.
Yeah, but we're
Bourbon personalities.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
I don't
We're
know
not.
why we got to keep doing this. Did you hear that?
it's a running joke.
Did you hear the button he pushed?
Bourbon personalities.
No, I don't hear it.
I pulled that.
Oh, when I push that
Bourbon
button.
personalities.
Oh, I thought you could hear that. Weird.
Oh, you don't hear that?
Oh well.
I pulled that from a YouTube videos of somebody. Never mind. I don't like talking about it because it's going to get us in trouble one day. Wow.
Yum. That's really good.
That's like a whole mouth experience. Then you really get the honey on the finish.
Yeah. There's that finish that makes you just like want to sit back and be like, oh, that's it.
It's sweet. Like
It feels like you legit have honey in your mouth. Like it's not as thick, right? Like a
but I mean,
watery
like
honey.
it's still, the legs are still running from the edge of the glass.
Yeah.
Like that's good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Good job. Good job on the picks.
How many do you have left? They're pretty much all gone now, or you still have the pairs?
Well, because the honey and the sauternes, they were both half barrels, and then the single barrel was a full. What we're doing now is gonna be just selling the 2-packs with a single and a sauternes, or a single and a honey.
Gotcha.
So those will be 200, and we'll be putting those together here soon.
There you go. This episode won't come out for probably a week and a half. You'll probably be sold out by then. But if not, make sure you guys reach out and get one, and then also get tickets to the dinner because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. Like, I had a great time.
Yeah, and it's in Lexington. There's tons to do in Lexington.
There was definitely no shortage of things to do.
Yeah.
And if you're into bourbon, I mean, you're right in the heart of it there.
Yep.
For sure.
So,
It's also a bunch of good people, and you get to. If you've never been to a veteran charity before, the charity dinner, they are. It is. There's a reason we go to a bunch of them. And like everybody was like, "Oh, that's so kind of y'all to do," and I'm like, "No. They're a lot of fun."
Yeah, I actually have a question. Have you looked by chance to see if Kentucky has a home game that weekend?
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure if their schedule came out yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'll check.
Because that might be something fun to do if they have an early game in the day. I've never been to see a Kentucky. I've never been to an SEC game actually. So
I went to see whoever's in Louisville. I went to see when I didn't care about sports at all, but my friend Mark took me there.
football.
Yeah, it was a Kentucky football game. Who's in Kentucky? Is it?
You got University of Louisville,
Mhm.
and you got Kentucky.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
University of Louisville. We went to a game there. It was pretty cool.
Sounds like fun.
There was I think that there was Papa John's or something.
Yeah, it was the Papa John Stadium.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
where we went.
But that's also like depending on the time of the game. That's like a full day commitment because you got to get there early. To
Yeah, we
tailgate
tailgated all morning.
spend 3-4 hours
Yeah.
at the game, and yeah, I'm not sure that would work out and still make it to the dinner.
Yeah,
decent
no,
time.
Probably not on a Saturday. But yeah. So what's some new and exciting things we can look forward to see coming out of Camp Hero?
this year we're starting. It's a nature immersion program. I've partnered with the Kentucky State EMS Board and a company called Nature Reliance School. And what we're doing is we're going to host first responders for free, and we do groups of 15, and they'll come down, learn stuff like bushcraft, survival, edible plants, stuff like that. While they'll be learning stuff while they're out there, just being able to relax and take it easy, decompress in the outdoors. So we're going to have about 2 of those a month.
Oh wow!
And then we're also going to we're thinking we're going to be working with possibly.
I think it froze up on us. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, all of a sudden it said, high temperature and, unable to use phone until it cools off. I was like, oh, crap.
Who would have known that Zoom would burn your phone up?
I know. They didn't warn me about that. I have to talk to my attorney.
Yeah, shit.
Shit.
So when we cut out, you were getting into, you remember.
There's a bladesmith that we're going to be working with. And what we'll be doing is like this 2-day thing. It'll be a Saturday, 1 week, Saturday, and next week. Well, the first Saturday is the people would come in there and they'd get a blank, like a knife blank, and they'd actually build their own knife. Where they go from sharpening it to parkerizing it to doing the handle and everything else. We'd hold on to that knife to make sure they show up for the second day. The second day would be at Camp Hero, and the naturalists from Nature Reliance School would have them using their knives for survival stuff, bushcraft stuff, fire starting, and all that.
That's cool.
So, and of course, they get to keep their knives and everything afterwards. So that's another program we're going to.
I want to do that.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun.
That does sound like
That's
fun.
also one of the skills that I think that you should have is how to make a knife.
You should find out how much and what size wood pieces that the guy needs for the handles, and we might be able to donate some of the scraps that we have that fit that size, and they can have whiskey barrel white oak handles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be an awesome option.
If he can melt down hoops to make blades, we got plenty of hoops too.
I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good. But other than that, we're doing that, and then we've got another thing where we're going to be partnering with UK football, and then doing stuff in the community. I can't really advertise it yet because they haven't cleared it through all their legal stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But it's good to go. And then I'll also be after basketball season, also be working with the UK basketball team too.
Awesome.
Doing stuff either here at Camp Hero and then out in the city. So making a lot of great connections, being able to help, the community and everything else. And the more people that we can reach out, the more people we can help, and that's the biggest thing is getting the word out about what we do and what we offer and everything else. Another thing is in the end of this month, we are going down to Florida to wild hog hunt.
Nice.
And I decided, I was like, well, we'll do a day and do a charter fishing trip too.
Oh, cool.
Well, what happened is I emailed a couple guys or a couple charters, and one gave me the basic, we're $150 an hour or whatever. Well, the second one, she wrote like a super long email talking about how both of her kids were in the military and she wants to help us, and, give me her number. Well, I called her, come to find out she had just bought that charter in October, but she has her own outdoors TV show on 7 different channels with over 38 million viewers.
What?
And she wants to team up with Camp Hero and put us on her show, and then film some of our events.
Yeah.
Connect us with other stuff where we could do like for python hunting, iguana hunting.
What?
Doing all kinds of stuff, and be able to film it and basically show everyone Camp Hero stuff. So
python hunting.
That's
put me in for a python hunt.
That sounds terrifying.
I want to go.
Up.
Yeah, I want to go so bad. I'll eat it too. I know how to clean a snake.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good time. So yeah, we got a lot of big stuff, coming ahead, and it just, end up meeting the right people and talking to the right people, and that's what when people realize you're doing something good, they want to be a part of it.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, man.
you know, and when they know you're doing it for the right reasons, and you know, because people do things, you know, for their own personal gain.
Yeah.
You know, when they know you're doing it for the right reasons, you just want to help people, then they want to be there, you know, be a part of it also.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing that we preach a lot, because people always talk about charities that they donate to, and they're like, well, where do you guys go? And I tell them about GuideStar. You told me about GuideStar.com. You can go there and you can look at tax returns for charities. But your charity, it used to be, it still is 100% volunteer, right?
Oh yeah, 100% volunteer.
100%.
We have no paid people, so all of our money goes to fund our mission.
There you go. And so if you're looking for a good charity to donate to, you can't get better than 100%. You know that 100% of every penny you give is going to helping people. No payroll, none of that. And there may be some day that you need to when you get massive and you got to pay people to come on board. But, you know, I think, you know, we recommend it all the time. It's like, you know, we met you through Patrick, through WLS, and that's a great organization too, and one that, you know, we always harp on and try to do stuff with. But, you know, we love splitting our time between you and WLS. And other than that, we don't really, not many other, there's a couple small ones locally, but other than that, it's like the only two that we recommend ever.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to, you know, our between jobs and then whiskey and whitetails, it's our time is at a premium, so we have to pick who we want to spend time with, and between Camp Hero and WLS, it's not a hard choice. And I love hearing all these things that are lining up and working out for you, man, because there's a lot of people, as you mentioned, a lot of people that do this kind of work, but they use the helping others as sort of a blanket to cover what their real intentions are, you know, and that's not the case with you. And it makes it's gonna sound really corny, but it makes my heart happy.
Yeah, for sure.
When I see those good things happening and working out for you, because you freaking deserve it, man. And I think it's awesome. So kudos to you. I hope that TV stuff works out, man. And I hope you end up with the problem of having to hire somebody to help you out because you're so busy. That'd be a good problem to have.
Oh yeah, it would, or at least as a contractor.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I think we're gonna do the random fact and then wrap this up. So
Good.
we'll leave Rocco on so he can hear it too.
Okay.
Bang it.
Okay.
Random fact of the week.
The random fact of the week is brought to you by, as always, the Whiskey and Whitetails podcast. John Chapman, born in Massachusetts in 1974, planted his first orchard in 1798 in the Allegheny Valley in Pennsylvania, began traveling west ahead of the pioneers, and he carried a sack with him full of apple seeds. You know him as Johnny Appleseed. But the random fact is that he did not plant edible apples. They were what are called cider apples. They were a lot smaller and very bitter and did not taste good. But the reason he got his good name is because he would move before the pioneers, and he had a knack for guessing where they would plant. He was like, the pioneers would come through here, they're going to put a town here.
Yeah.
And so he'd go ahead of them and plant an apple orchard so they could make cider.
That's clever.
It's pretty fascinating. But he wore a sack, a flour sack, and he cut holes out for his legs, and that's what he wore for real. Didn't wear shoes. There's stories that
He wore a flour sack?
a flour sack
As clothes.
As clothes.
I don't do that.
Yeah, we could. There's stories that folklore, there's a lot around him, but there's folklore saying that he got bit by a rattlesnake once, but because his feet were so tough from not wearing shoes that the snake could not penetrate. It's probably bullshit, but that's what they said. But he believed in the life of religion is to do good, and he was something called a Swedenborgian, which is a type of Christianity, but not actual Christian theology, if you will. But he believed that doing good gets you to heaven. So he treated all people and animals with respect. And that's the reason that his folklore just grew massive. But yeah, he was planting apples for cider so people get drunk. So
My man.
I like him too.
So that as people came and settled areas, they had
They're like, bam, somebody planted a bunch of apple
they had
trees.
stuff ready to go for cider.
Yeah.
Man, let's build a house and start making some cider now.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that guy.
I like him too. He can, good dude. Died of pneumonia in 1845 at 70 years of age.
Pneumonia?
Yeah.
Wasn't
in
COVID?
Fort Wayne, Indiana. It probably was, it was a coronavirus probably that kicked it off, and pneumonia finished him. All right. Well, Rocco, we appreciate you coming on here, man.
Always.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anytime, man.
Look forward to seeing you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Us too. We like hearing all your new stories all the
Yeah,
time.
I think we had intended to talk a little bit about camp and whitetail season, but we probably need to have another conversation, maybe another podcast, and talk a little about what you have planned for whitetail season, and maybe plan a weekend to drive up there and help you out.
We were talking about March, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have a date set, but March.
Okay.
Like we have some stuff in March, so we need to probably figure that out sooner than later. But
Yep.
Yeah, just let me know. We'll get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably call you offline and figure it out.
yeah, definitely.
All right.
Cool,
Sounds
man.
good, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Talk to you
Thanks.
soon, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yep.
All
You
right.
too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, and that's it. That was Rocco.
Dude, this number, I don't know who they are.
You getting blown up, huh?
Dude,
Answer on
it's the sixth time they've called.
answer on podcast.
I don't know.
Okay.
So we can always cut it out if it's something weird.
Yeah,
Oh, it's plugged into there. I don't feel like reaching over there right now.
you're gonna have to call him back anyway.
I don't have to call anybody back.
7 times you got to call and see.
If they haven't left a message, it must not be that important.
Well, maybe it's too important. They have to keep calling you.
Well, then they'll call me an eighth time.
If they call you an 8th time, you'll answer it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the meantime, what else do we have? Do we want to discuss before this?
No, I don't think we had anything to discuss. I just really wanted to have this conversation with this person.
On the phone?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what would it be from. 7 calls?
Yeah, it's
Like back to back.
excessive.
I kept hitting like the double tap the side button so it kills the call, which makes me think that it's just that's some telemarketer or something.
I really think you should. If they call again, you should answer.
I will.
Do we have anything to talk about between now and then?
When they call again, they probably gave up. No, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much wrapped up. We got lots of busy stuff happening for us next week, but luckily we're halfway prepared.
Yeah. Well, these were good. I will reiterate what we said earlier while we were kind of in the middle of conversations. If you are interested in buying up one of the pairs, because they're pairing, if I understood correctly,
Yep.
they're pairing the single barrel with one of these
with
two.
one of the two. Yep.
And it's $200 for the pair.
Yep.
It's worth it in my opinion. I would,
100% do
if
that.
I had to recommend, I would definitely do the single barrel and the honey. But this is super complex and does a weird thing on the tongue.
I think if you already have a honey barrel, you should probably go
Yeah.
with the sauterne because
I would
it's
agree.
it's got a lot of flavor to it. If you've never had a honey barrel, I think you would.
Would people need to reach out to Rocco to
Yeah,
do this?
reach out to Rocco. It has nothing
Okay.
to do with us. Please don't message us.
Inundate us with text messages, but you
And that's
can
on
find
Instagram, Facebook, Camp Hero KY.
Yeah. They're easy to find.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. I
So-
think his cell phone might actually be on the website. So.
Brave man.
Oh no.
What happened?
Camera, the laptop did the thing. Anyway. All right. Well, a little short one today, but I think it was packed full of information, packed full of a good time, and it was definitely a good time for us. I enjoyed talking to Rocco. Every
Always
time
do.
we do it.
Yeah, it's a good time. So, all right, folks. Until next time,
Sayonara.
we should get that chick to. No, we already have one. Maybe we should graduate away from the drinking whiskey jingle and have a custom one.
Yeah, why not? Because then we can just start right here and just run into it.
Yeah, we need a jingle, something better.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Adios.
Bye.